in this little video, we're going to show you how to make standing stitches. And standing stitches are an alternative way to chains to start the next row or round of your crochet. And I'm going to be using this little granny square here to demonstrate. So we will all be familiar with the fact that with traditional granny square, we would tend to start, because we're using treble crochets, UK terminology, or doubles, US terminology. So we would all tend to start our next round of our granny square like this. So with 3 chain, or 2 or 3 chain, usually 3, and then we will carry on and make our next 2 stitches, and on we would go. Now that's absolutely fine, works really well, we're all familiar with it, but you can sort of undeniably see that that is a chain. It doesn't look like the other stitches. Not a problem, but if you would like an alternative way to do things, here are standing stitches. Okay, for the standing stitches, I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook, and I'm going to make that slip knot with the cut end of the yarn. So I'm going to hold it to the right and just make my knot and put it on my hook. That's because I want to be able to sort of tighten that stitch up with that cut end when I've made it. Okay, now before I do anything at all, I am going to wrap the yarn around the hook once. So that is a sort of familiar motion for the standard treble stitch UK terminology, or double stitch US terminology. And I'm going to just use my forefinger to hold those 2 loops in place so that they don't go anywhere. I will take my, in this case, granny square, so where I want to start my work, put my hook through, pull up a loop and through. Now at this point, what I tend to do, and obviously this is all personal preference, but the way I do it is my thumb here and my middle finger here, I tend to clamp those 3 loops between the 2. So now they're so secure I can take my hand off of my hook, but they're not going anywhere at all. Yarn goes around the hook and through the first 2 loops. Just adjust that hold again. Yarn goes around the hook and through the last 2 loops. And when you look, you'll see that what's happened is that little slip knot has moved up to the top of the stitch, and I can, if I want to, tighten it a tiny bit. And it looks, well, it is a completely normal first stitch. It's a normal treble if you're looking at it in the UK. It's a normal double if you're looking at it in the US. Let me put 2 more in, and you will see how they are sort of indistinguishable from each other. Okay, and there we are. So there's 3 absolutely identical stitches there to start the round. They look really uniform, no chains in sight, and it's nice and neat. So what I will do now is I'm going to quickly go all the way around and show you how you deal with it when you've got to work into it. I've completed my round now, and I'm back to the beginning, and I want to close the round. And it is so easy, because if you look across the top here, you will see very clearly the V's. So there's no problem at all with me just putting my hook through the top of that stitch as I normally would, with the little knot sitting to the side. And then I'm going to close the round with the slip stitch in the normal way. Just get this out of the way. So once I've cut my yarn and sewn the ends in, there will be absolutely no way you could tell those first 3 stitches apart. So that's a standing stitch, completely indistinguishable from the other stitches, and an alternative way to start your round. You can deal with any stitch in the same way, making a standing stitch, any of them at all. So let's look at a couple together now. I'm always starting with that slip knot on my hook, and all I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you a double crochet, or US single crochet. So no yarn wrapping yet, but still sort of just anchoring or just holding steady that little loop with my forefinger. I'm going to put my hook through my work, pick up my yarn and pull through. I've now got 2 loops on the hook. Do that little clamp between my thumb and my middle finger, pick up my yarn and pull through the 2 loops, and there we go. We have a standing double crochet UK, or a standing single crochet, US. Let's have a look at a couple more. Okay, you can probably work this out now, but if we look at a UK half treble or a US half double, this is what we're going to do. We are going to do our trusty clamp in place, yarn around the hook first, and hold those 2 loops together. Hook goes through our work, yarn over and pull through, and I will adjust my grip so it goes between thumb and middle finger, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so that's a standing half treble UK, standing half double US. We'll do one of the longer stitches now, and then I guess you can work them all out for yourself. Okay, so let's look at a standing double treble UK or a standing treble US. So for this one, starting with that slip knot, yarn around the hook twice, and I'm holding all of those loops in place under my forefinger. Hook goes through the work, yarn over and pull through, adjust my grip, yarn over through 2, adjust again, yarn over through 2, and yarn over and through the final 2. Okay, and there we have a standing double treble UK or a standing treble US. So it's a really good technique, and you can practice this yourself with any of the stitches you want to start your work with. That trusty slip knot is the key, making sure you make it on the cut end, and just a nice, neat, possibly new way for you to start your crochet.